हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्ग जलराशि निश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि. That which is free from all distinctions, that which is ever existent, that which is like a calm, waveless ocean, and eternally unconditional and undivided. That Brahman thou art. Meditate this on your mind.
Thank you. You see how difficult it is to explain to mind that what we are. Because everyone tries to be what you are already are, but we are trying to be that through mind. Because all the time we are using mind. Now, to contemplate that which is beyond mind, which is before mind, which is the source of mind, through mind, is a task very difficult because mind has no clue about it. And whatever definition we give to that pure awareness, Brahman, they all fall flat because it is beyond speech, beyond words, beyond mind. But we still try to. You can understand how much a sage wants you to know, whom to contemplate, that eternal, that undivided, unbroken, unborn, which is calm, which is only presence. This is not even for your mind to understand. This is for you to understand who you are. And if you understand who you are, job is done. Leave aside mind. Mind, intellect, all this is vacuous. It is nothing. But our focus is there. That's why that is what we see and hear and touch and smell through these senses. If Ellen wants to read, that would be great.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ellen. Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I can't see you when I'm looking at it. That's the only thing.
That's
okay. I said, hi, this is Ellen Rule. The insight came to me today that we are not our body and not our mind, as the saying goes. Heard you say it's our ego that makes us think we are in our body. I've been contemplating that, and the insight said today, we don't leave our body because we were never in the body. That is Maya and illusion. I was wondering if you can explain that to us.
When you say this word Maya, what is Maya? In English, we say it is illusion. Illusion means that it is not there, but it appears to be there. Ma is used for negation also, like no, nothing. Ya is hey, it is. And Maya means it is not. So if you want the literal meaning of Maya, it's not. What is not? Whatever you perceive through your senses, whatever you hear in your mind, all this is not. I will give you a very simple understanding of who you are, and if you can contemplate and focus on that, then you can find that you can crack through this Maya. Anything which is changing is not you. Anything which is transforming is not you. Body is changing, the world is changing, people are changing, your mind is changing, your thoughts are changing, your intellect is changing, your emotions are changing, sensations are changing. Negate and keep your attention on that what never changes. If you can sincerely and honestly look within in that changeless state, then whatever you are, which we call ego, which thinks I am this body mind, will dissolve in it. Because the answer to the question, who am I, is not any answer, it is silence. So, from wherever you start your journey, whether you ask a question of self inquiry or you just stay, just be, anyone or everyone, whoever tries to know it, will know the same truth from wherever you try to look within. Leave aside body, mind, and this word, because if you focus, people start focusing, I am not this body, I am not this mind. Then there are so many things to start saying, then I am not this intellect, I am not this thought, I am not this emotion. And then something happens in our life, even a small, we get swayed, and all these big truths become useless. So, all the time, as much as you can pay attention to within, because nobody can give you more clue than this, because there's no other clue. And then what you need to do, if you understand, nothing, just be that. That's all. And then that's just be. And then after that, just be. Because mind will ask you, okay, I got it. Now what next? There's nothing next. Next is only in the mind. Mind always tries to be in future or in past. It has no clue about this pure presence. You are that pure presence, which is not scattered. And because you are this pure presence, and when you abide in pure presence as pure presence, there are no worries. There's only supreme bliss. Why? Because there is complete freedom from thoughts, all unnecessary planning all the time about things and beings and situations, excessive planning about things which have never happened, might never happen. Just the mind contemplates that this will happen. And you just stay there. That's all. For a person who can understand, there is no method. Just knowing this truth is enough. Job is done. Maya simply means it's not existing. And all this, what we see, hear, touch, feel through this body, senses, our whole existence in what we believe is not that. And it's not you. And the mind is projecting this outwardly, everything. But we think all this outside is existing for millions of years or billions of years, and there's a continuity in the word, and we think it is separate from us. Don't think mind is just this thought in your mind, it is everything. It is all creation of the mind. It's a very mystical power. Though it gets energy from the source, what you are. But it wraps you in a way that you get deluded. It has power of hypnotism. And it can keep you deluded until you question it. Don't think one fine day it will just go away. I think it goes away for people spontaneously who have no interest in it. Because anything which stays with us is because of our interest. Sometimes people say that I hate this, I severely dislike it, still it stays. That again is hate keeps things there. That is also a relationship. But when you have no relationship internally, then it all drops. The jewel in our heart, what we are, unfolds only when we are not interested in the outer coverings of it, which include mind and intellect. When we have no interest in it, then what happens? Then you start knowing that what you are. We all believe in power of mind, but start believing in power of self, power of this awareness, power of the divine energy within you. Even when we don't know, it is that energy which is giving rise to and helping you to see whatever is happening around us. But we also keep this ego alive. And that's why we don't see that divine. When I see God to that divine energy, some people don't like it, and I know that. And they have asked me, don't call it God. So people's ego is so strong that even when a teacher wants to say something, they don't want him to say something. Can you believe this? People suggest me, please don't call it God, just can you call it divine? When I say pure awareness, then people say, please don't call it pure awareness. We get confused. You're already confused. I'm not confusing you. You're such a confused person. What can I do with you? Egos are so strong that you don't even allow a teacher to use a word. What else is this? It is you're such a strong mind. Whatever you want to call it or don't want to call it by any name, it is actually nameless. But still, we have to use a name for that pure energy. To me, if you ask me definition of God, that pure energy is God. That is Brahman. That is you. Self. Bhagavan called it self, Atman. But if your mind has constructed an image of these things and you have definitions, then I can't help. Then you are stuck up in your mind rather than understanding the truth. I'll give you a beautiful, to make you understand what this ego is. A lot of people pray to God and they pray to God, God, you are powerful, you're omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Please give me this, a partner, a job, money, name, fame, wealth, disease-free body, get rid of disease, whatever it is. And some go one step more. God, please give me, and I'll do this. Some even say, if you do this, then I will give money to this charity or to the temple or church or whatever. Now just understand this prayer. You acknowledge that there is a power, but you think that power is foolish and you are smart and God doesn't know what to give you or what not to give you. So you guide God or that power that, look, you know everything. You are supreme power, but you have no brain. And I have brain and I am smart. So please follow me, follow my instruction. Is it not blasphemy? Is it not insult? It is not like you are in a queue, what you have to get, you will get, but you are jumping the queue. It is not indecency. That what does this prayer has to disappear. If you can understand ego, then I cannot give you a better example than this. In all these prayers, it is the ego which flourishes and survives and thinks I am smart.
That's why in most of the Shiva temples, as you enter, just before the Nandi, there's a Balipitam. You give the ego, then go inside. So you'll never ask anything.
If our prayers change, and rather than asking, we just have love for that energy. Again, if I say God, I know people get upset, but you can call whatever it is. You love it, you respect, you should have feeling of gratitude. You should be thankful to it. Because understand what the issue is. The issue is you are moving, you're transcending from egoistic mind to that pure energy. Can you take your ego with that and then claim, yes, I have done it? You have done 10 things in life and this is the 11th thing you want to do it and you have achieved it? Do you think this is the way it works? It has never ever worked this way for anyone, without any exception. Whenever it has worked for anyone, we call all of them as fake gurus. So dodgy people meets dodgy people. Because you won't like this and someone has got it like that. So you catch up with those people. But if you really want to be there, then you have to disappear the way you think you are. Understand only self knows self, nothing else. Your ego can never know self. When I say your ego means the what you think you are right now. You have to move from here. If you stay here and wants to know that divine, you can have glimpses, but you cannot be that eternally. So many people, they have glimpses. They take that glimpses that I have done and they start feeding their ego. And the life stays miserable. For ego, even to think that I surrender is a big word. Rather than attempting, people, even that word becomes so difficult even to grasp. So they keep changing. It's much easier to change teacher, change methods, feel some silence, some peace. That is why yogic postures are so much liked by people, because here there is no challenge to ego. You continue all those postures, you feel more flexible, then you do breathing. Yes, when you do all the breathing pranayam, your parasympathetic system gets activated. You are into rest and relax mode, you feel good. And that's what you want. You want to feel good and happy, and that's all. I speak to people who come to me as longing for God and spiritual seekers. And then they tell me their story that they had this tragedy recently and this has happened and that has happened. And I ask them to wait and just see. And once they get out of that tragic, then I can't see them around. They just disappear. And I'll see them again, maybe, or someone else might see them when they will have another tragedy. So, this is the trick of the mind and ego to survive. I'll tell you, opening is very close when we are going through suffering. We become more humble and we look for something else. We hate all this mind body complex because it is not working according to our own wishes. Again, this is the play of ego. If it is working the way it is working, we will never ask any question about Brahman, awareness, self. Rare are the ones who have no tragedy in their life. Life is pure, beautiful. but they still have inquisitiveness to know that. That is grace. In most of the cases, only suffering brings us to it. But again, even in those cases, so many people leave this journey in between when they start getting some pleasure, some happiness in their life. When the life starts moving according to their ego sense. Self realization breaks all bondages, all conditioning, all the mental construct what we have created. If you look into pure Bhagavan's teachings, his main teaching is if you understand silence, just be. Then comes other techniques like self-inquiry. Then comes self-attention, knowing and with efforts just. And he never encouraged techniques in which ego survives, like yoga and even japa, which is very strong, very powerful. But yes, you can take any practice to start. Eventually, you have to give up everything. All these tools and the one who's using these tools. I can't read, but I think there is another question. Bharat, you wrote something. You can ask me if you want to.
Good morning, Sanjay.
Good
Good morning,
morning,
everyone.
Bharat. How are you?
Good, thanks. Uh, I just wanted to ask a question. I've been listening to all the lectures and I've been listening to, I'm absolutely in the beginning of my journey. I'm definitely interested, but the more I read about living in pure awareness and everything, I find that I'm disinterested in life itself and disinterested in a lot of living things, and like I just find that, is this okay, or like would I go into depression, like is it going to be safe, or so I'm just asking for some guidance because it gives me peace in the beginning, but at times it also makes me not interested in everything that's going on in the normal life and what people are doing and what everybody is doing. So can you just give some guidance on that?
Yeah, it is true. When people come on this journey, they still have attachment to things and what is happening and what they were doing in the past. And then they can have this fear of missing out, FOMO, that is it right spending time with my own self Am I a nutcase or is it depression? And I'll tell you, Bharat, if you look into the depression scale, and anyone who is a sadhak or a spiritual seeker, if you fill up the form, you are, if you fill up that scale, you are quite moderately depressed, at least, if not severe. If you fill up that form, any depression scale, because you don't want social interactions, you are talking less, you have less interest in recreational activities, and this question can arise whether I'm depressed. And I have to say, it is not always that there is a profound bliss all the time. When you come on this, the mind's agitations looks, now you can see them very clearly. It becomes, everything becomes so transparent. Nothing is hiding. And so you see all these agitations, and even these thoughts are part of it, you know. Sometimes it's good to keep an idol, something which you revere, you respect, a guru, a teacher, or something. So you know that all these people following this have come to this end. And no one has actually had any regrets after knowing it. And I believe each to his own. For some, a gradual unfoldment is good. For some, they just always live on extremes and they just move, shift this way. But I would say that the best is to be in touch. You can give me a call, or we can talk about it, or attend satsang, meet fellow people, speak to them. And so this energy and the satsang, this all helps, because I don't want you to have any mental health issues on this path. I want you to be happy and blissful, but always good to talk about it, I think. But do the practice the way it is and take small steps towards it. I don't think there should be an issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you. Ben, do you want to ask? You have written some question there.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Ben. Namaste.
It wasn't really a question, it was just a remark. Sometimes it appears that it's just because of grace, like even being misled by the so-called ego, and this is what I feel now. Day by day, the sense of identity is kind of disappearing, and I'm in dispassion for so many things now. And even when I think I thought I was in the wrong direction, it seems that it was like the will of God to put me in this direction so I can maybe understand what was the situation at that time. And it wasn't the I that was deciding at this moment. It was the divine energy. Like even writing this message, I wasn't like feeling, it just came like this.
Yeah.
And lots of things that you said, and I was very fortunate to hear, is just happening. I can witness, and many things that I read, like who I am of Bhagavan. I'm able to I understand. At that time, it was like just reading, and it was kind of intellectual. And now there's a knowledge, like it's, and I can't explain. It's weird. I'm not that good because words can mislead. But there is an understanding, and having faith is very important. Faith in the self, and whatever the situation you can be. We are. This is the image of Bhagavan. We are already in the mouth of the tiger, and we just need to be, and the ego will disappear just by waiting. This is what I feel nowadays. Thank you.
Yeah, very true, Ben, very true. This is the language of someone who has surrendered. This is what surrender is. When your will and God's will is the same, that I will call as namaste. When God's hand and your hand, they both, and then it becomes prayer. Because right now, as I told you initially, when we pray, God, please give me this, please give me that, treating God as someone dumb. He doesn't know. You have to tell him. If you don't tell him, he will not give you. This is jumping the queue. And he is so merciful, so compassionate. He gives you what you want. But then you never get the essence. All these prayers take you away from that essence, from that knowledge, that tattva, what you are. As if a mother has 4 kids. 3 are busy in toys and they want toys, and she gives them toys, and she's busy in her home, household chores. And then 1 kid only wants mother. What will she do? Tell me. She will grab that kid, hug that kid. So all the prayers in which we are asking things, he will give you. But you will get only these toys. If you want to know reality, then you have to have interest in reality. Not in these transient things. And when Bharat was saying that I'm losing interest in these transient things, and he's scared about it and he's thinking this is not right, then this is his other half which is still interested in these things. Otherwise, if you have surrendered and if you want to go with flow, let this life for that. But mind says, what if I don't go there and I'll miss all this action? Then there is no surrender. You have to take this jump. You have to choose your side. If you think you are missing, then I would say go and do what you want to do. Indulge more, enjoy if you think that is enjoyment. Once you have done it, if you think it is enough, or if suffering comes to you or whatever, inquisitiveness or some grace, and if you want to come, then come. That is why I'm saying so many people come to this and then leave it. Vidya asked me so many times. Initially, she used to ask a lot of times that why so less people are enlightened or self-realized. Very simple. Nobody wants it. The one who wants it, they want in their own terms and conditions. And then finally, then there are very few who really want it. But somehow then they lose interest or whatever happens. And so very few are left. Actually, if you see in life, even for a job, there can be many resumes, competition. But here there is no competition. It is not that there's a quota, there are a number of people who will get enlightened in a month or in a day. It is not like that. But nobody has interest. So it appears as who is winning? Maya, illusion, or self. But this is not a matter of winning. If Bhagavan has to answer this question, he will say, if you are dreaming, then you have to get out of the dream. You can't ask other people in the dream to get out and then you will get out. It is your dream. And if you believe in that Supreme, then that Supreme will take care of other people. I'll tell you another trap. People come and they say, look, I'm getting all this peace and I know and I'm unfolding. But I'm very unhappy because my spouse is not into it, my kids are not into it, and my friends are not into it. What can I do so they are all interested in it? First, you should get out. You are still my kids, my family, my friend. There is so much of myness in it, so much of attachment. You want the whole bus of your friends and family and friends to transcend together. And someone can say how much compassionate this person is. I would say it is complete sheer ignorance. Your dream, you should get out first. You go to the other end. And again, it is an excuse of the mind. When you are out, then others can be out or not, I don't know. But then there are more chances of them rather than together in that sense. Even when you are in a plane, they explain that if in case of decreased oxygen or pressure, put your mask first and then help your kid. They never say put on the kid first, because by the time you're trying to put on the kid and maybe you get unconscious, then how can you help them when you are unconscious? You have to be that conscious to make others conscious. If you are unconscious, then it is like blind leading the blind. You are going nowhere.
If you don't know swimming, how can you help a person who is drowning?
Yes, yes. So in truth, your understanding should be there. And once your understanding develops, your faith develops. And if you ask me technique will come to you with that grace, whatever is best for you. But in reality, there is no technique. Your surrender is the best technique. Be in that pure energy all the time, but not involving in what you have always involved in. It is like changing from ego mode to presence mode. With people, without people, when this self talk is going, don't engage in it. You can't remove it, let it continue, but don't pay attention to it. Don't give your energy. Give energy to the silence which is before all these thoughts arising. When you start noticing that all these thoughts are just a noise, then you also start noticing another opening comes to you. When you talk to people or people talk to you, you see that we are all trying to disrespect that pure silence, and sometimes we just talk nonsense. And people try to open up after a few drinks, then we can talk more. So start respecting this silence, not an external silence, silence of that divine energy within us. Be with it, enjoy it. And you will realize that it gives more peace, happiness than all your engagements. I'm not against engagement with things, but there is a difference. Engagement at the level of self and engagement at the level of ego. When we engage at ego level, when the thing which we are looking forward to doesn't happen, we feel miserable and unhappy. When we engage from the self, things happens or not, our bliss stays the same. No change. I don't have a good example, but I just want to tell you this thing. I knew this guy. In every party he used to take his own drink. You know that flat bottle, I don't know what you call it. He used to keep it in his jacket. And I said,
Hip flask.
sorry?
It's called hip flask.
Plus, yeah. So he used to carry that. And I said, look, there are so much of drink in this. He said, no, I don't take risk. I bring my own happiness with me. I'm not dependent on this party. I would say take that self in your heart. Be with that heart. So you're not dependent on any party for your own happiness. Your happiness is your own eternal core reality, your real nature. Be with that. Then you are not dependent on whether the party happens or not happens. But as a matter of fact, I'll tell you, when the bliss is so much, you don't care and you're not interested. Another very good thing which Bhagavan said was disinterested action. Understand this meaning, disinterested. The actions are happening. You have no interest. You are just there. Because actions are happening at the body level. You are only a witness. Be in that disinterested mode for actions and see how much you are in bliss. And all this mental fatigue and tiredness, what people feel working from Monday to Friday, will not happen to you when you stay in that mode. Try to follow these small pointers, they're very important. Don't start judging before applying to them. You will save a lot of energy when you are outside the mind talk. And things will happen in their perfect way, the way it has to happen. Contemplate on this pure silence within you all the time. This silence is you. This is bliss. This is peace. This is pure awareness. This is Brahman. Buck stops here. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you,
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.